The U.S. and Iran ceasefire deal is bringing a sigh of relief, and today the Trump administration is saying the Pentagon's job is done in Iran.
The pause follows nearly 40 days of war with Iran. Today, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth touting the ceasefire as a big day for world peace. He praised the U.S. troops and our military efforts. Joining us now to talk about the latest in Iran is Alex Vatanka, Middle East Institute Fellow. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. You've had a busy couple days talking through all this, but can you talk a little bit about what's next if this everyone's saying very fragile truce were to actually dissolve?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important to remember it is a very fragile process that we're about to start on. And it could start on Friday in the capital of the country of Pakistan, Islamabad. We don't know yet who's going to show up. The Iranian side are talking about sending a pretty senior figure from the regime called Bagher Ghalibaf, who's the Speaker of the Parliament, someone with extensive ties and someone who's been in this regime for decades. Him showing up in Islamabad is pretty significant. And on the U.S. side, there's talk about potentially Vice President Vance showing up. That would be huge in many ways because the Iranians essentially been asking for J.D. Vance. They consider him someone who is committed to ending this war. So, we have to wait and see who shows up because obviously this is happening pretty fast. Logistics going to be a factor. But regardless, this is going to be the beginning of a potential 2-week back and forth between these two countries as they try and see if they can build on this temporary ceasefire that has been agreed now.
Now, Alex, as we've all heard, now both sides are claiming victory. So is there actually a real winner and loser here?
Really, you could make the point that both of them won or both of them lost. It really comes down to what your metric of success is. But one thing is for sure, both of them have now realized that this war could have continued. We were in a very dangerous sort of cycle of escalation. It could have hurt the global economy even more so than it has been the case in the last 40 days. So I think, if you are an optimist here, I would say let's take this 2-week window of negotiation as a historic opportunity and build. And, it's pretty natural that both sides would declare victory. That's what countries do. But what's also very important is to not lose sight of the fact that time is of an essence here. You got 2 weeks, you got a lot of ground to cover. And then sooner they can start making significant and meaningful progress, I think the rest of us should be thankful for that.
You also still have so many other things happening. You have Israel bombing Lebanon this morning, a few hours ago, Pakistan playing a role here. We're hearing China could have played some type of role in forming this ceasefire deal. Can you unpack all of this for us?
Sure. Yeah, that's one of the big factors. Like we've heard from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel that Lebanon is not part of the ceasefire, that they're going to continue basically their operations in Lebanon. I think the Iranians are going to push back on that. The big question is, where will the U.S. go? Will President Trump lean on the Israelis and say, look, I want this ceasefire to hold. I want you to pull out of Lebanon. He might do that. He might let Israel do what Israel feels it has to do. So it remains to be seen. But it's really one of those hints going back to the point of fragile situation we're in. On the issue of Pakistan and China, look, I have a feeling that the Pakistanis are bringing the Chinese into the picture just to basically make China feel like they're an important actor here. I don't see any evidence of China having played a role in the last 40 days in shaping how this war was being waged. But Pakistan and China have very important relations that go back decades. And the Pakistanis, I think, are giving China a sort of a place here on the stage, on the international stage, and giving the Chinese the look of the peacemaker, even though there isn't really much to back that up with.
Interesting. Alex, we know you're a busy guy. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.